matter. Reporting economic position don't create incentives to oppose intermayor. That is the all the narrative. Structural factor means that the U.S. will never be protection, and the status quo body to us, and the solution was obviously affordable protection, increasing agri demand. The offensive political college established God. No country to provide double deal current prices. What's been prevented with Russia trade wars has been the structural world economy. The U.S. and Congress acted by America. Money used for fearing retaliation. Lobby successfully moderated legislative. Only U.S. officials show continued majority for free trade. Now there's no risk of a trade war. That's Fletcher 2011. The curious thing about trade war is that there's no physical precedent there on this trade war. All history reminds you know this no holiday depression allowing serious examination. Divide every comment depression while they go by. Trade has nothing to do with it. They're all bending that through all started global trade war. Different type of retaliation is also mythical. This and that happens. Smooth holidays privately made. There's a hair, but that's at the bottom of the positive trade war. Why would any rational actor start one? Money made a retaliation. They'll discover the evangelist also not that. Mark that card that. Now global warming things for debate. This is you got to actually mess up with CO2 to do that. The CO2 water return was an internal link to the warming, which is why we didn't read any warming defense in 168. Always all the other impacts because warming is universal, and you cannot come with it. The CO2 the reducing carbon emission increase warming because carbon dioxide increases heat in the troposphere, but decreases temperature in much higher stratosphere. This causes water vapor levels drop, which is a worse greenhouse gas because it contributes 70% of heat trap. That was the answer. Yes, we had an impact of water vapor in the YC. It was just the internal link there. It wasn't external, which is the reason why you drop it. Now you should prefer our term because our evidence sites and use model that their evidence is assuming. Also in Dyson saying that scientists overlooked the effects of water vapor, which means that you cannot trust any other evidence because water vapor is here. Now the impact of stratosphere water vapor outweighs that. Solomon said carbon dioxide increases more than the impact of water vapor far less to radiation. Most of the magnitude scientific radiation force and perturbation important. No new warrior arguments on this water vapor return either because it was a functional guideline to AC quite like overlaid. Now they said they only to any of the war materials go up. The came to the satellite process makes a lot of sense. There is no global dealing right now because countries are making regulations to reduce carbon emissions, which is the reason why since they read climate evolutionary impact and the cards talk about the regulations that will happen about it, and the card says that the only way to reduce CO2 emissions, the only way to solve global warming is to reduce CO2 emissions in Brazil, China. That is what their card said, which is the reason why they still link to it because even if the affirmative doesn't take a stance, their cards take a stance saying that the only way to reduce global warming is by reducing emissions. Don't try to get yourself out to this term just because you messed it up. Now let's CO2 agriculture and the CO2 agriculture outweighs and turn the case. The classical global biosphere is in the world of plant. The global agriculture crisis is coming right now. And families will be inevitable by 2050. After CO2, plants will be less efficient, forcing global development, unused farmlands, collapsing global diversity. Now it always supplements risk. You ever can see that there's a certain risk of incoming agriculture by 2050 causing extreme. If we have any defensive risk of warming, that means you won't ever. That's the we saw evidence. Now they say that it kills plants. No, it doesn't. CO2 is keeping plant growth. That's isolate class one. From the very for what extra skills all the plants respond to the African and the here we go bigger, faster, producing more larger leaves, more larger roots and larger flowers, more larger seeds of fruit. There are additionally thousands and no exaggeration show that such like highlight our website to do this break. Now only the CO2 solved internally. That's equal to 2004. No, the doing air CO2 the project or how to do 50%. The project will reflect like 80% as the air CO2 continues to rise. Solar air be efficient. The plant CO2 ratio increase CO2 pay huge dividends, increasing output without taking new lives from nature. Mark that card at nature. Now the SO2 term, we're not going to go for it. I'll just answer the acid rain impact of term here. The acid rain has no effect on ecosystem. That's Miller 95. There is no evidence concerning the terrible dams caused by agricultural ecosystem. Naturally, so widespread. There is still a wide variety of project planning, heavily continuing extension water to the air grind and calculate functional level pH at 4.5. The most soil had enough carbonized and minerals to buffer the acid inputs. Also, the worker shortage argument doesn't apply because even if there's a worker shortage, as long as there's more food, countries will be able to fed, and that will make agriculture effective. Okay. Take a second break. It's in the Tennessee.
Right. Which I can use.
Oh, you can. Alright. Let's start with topicality. You said a topical version of our act would say to normalize trade relations with Cuba. How would any act normalize trade relations with Cuba without removing a restriction?
Like that, removing a restriction would be a part of normalizing the relationship.
So removing, positive action. So it depends on how. So it's about like the way that we phrase the plan.
Yes, because topicality interpretation of resolution that questions the exact wording of the plan text. Is the basis for all counterplan competition.
So removing restrictions can be topical. You're saying that removing restrictions can be topical if we phrase it positively.
Yes, but if you phrase it positively, it would not be removing a restriction.
What strategy? What part of your strategy changes by the way that we phrase the plan if the action remains the same?
Okay. The part of the strategy that changes if you don't do that is all the parts about the unilateral actions that the U.S. can take. The U.S. can take tons and tons.
You said the U.S. could normalize trade relations with Cuba. Why wouldn't that be unilateral?
That's just one act.
And after you said it was top.
And it's also two ways, because Cuba needs to accept this normalization of relations. Cuba doesn't need any input if you can do the U.S. just lifts a restriction.
So now sort of
that engagement goes two ways. That's our basis for our argument.
Okay, let's talk about warming for a second.
Yeah, let's do it.
The last argument you made in the 2NC was that even if there aren't workers, we can still have food. How is that possible if there's no one to grow or harvest the food?
Let's see. First, there's your own. You can farm your own food. Second is that as long as the supply is there, that will raise
So
the
the world of
demand.
status quo is people
will
devolve into
raise-
self-sustaining farmers?
Wait, listen to this. There's a shortage of workers right now because the demand for workers are low. If we have more food, that means that the demand of workers will raise because someone needs to do it. Economics says, and that means that there will be more workers, which means that those shortages aren't going to happen. I usually just claim jive with this because we say there's a global agricultural crisis coming right now.
You said that
If we
there are-
increase plant production, that will be able to solve the shortages because of
Let's
economics.
talk about dimming. You said that it's failing because there are increased regulations on warming right now.
Increased regulations on emissions, there's a difference.
So in the status quo, there's going to be a trend against emissions.
No. And right now, the westerly sun evidence says that the only reason why that's happening is because of stricter pollution standards. Except your 1EC claims that warming is going to happen, which is the reason why you
So
can't
there are
use this as a
strict pollution
uniqueness.
standards now.
What?
There are strict pollution standards now.
No. There was pollution standards reducing warming in westerly in 2010. We're saying that doesn't apply anymore because your 1EC took the position that we need to reduce global warming, and your card took the position that we need to reduce emissions.
That's fine. The argument that environmental leadership is bad because of economic pressures, right? The argument that said it was going to be worse for the environment is because there's going to be a collapse of trade. Why would trade collapse?
Wait, no, the argument is that climate leadership is bad because it collapses trade. Your card and our card both says that the only way that the climate leadership can solve warming is by imposing regulations, protectionist tariffs, and punishments against countries that violate that. That is
But
free
you also
trade.
said that trade is resilient.
What?
You also said that trade is resilient.
Okay, so it's an internal link term to your impact. If you can see that trade is resilient and don't go for advantage, I'm happy and you won't go for the impact.
Process. You can 3 seconds of credit.
I'll get it for you. I know where it is.
It's going to be the critique and politics.
IPO.
I'm with it. Critique, IPR, and politics.
What is it?
Critique, IPR, politics. It's the IPO, politics.
I don't have access to it. You have to flash it. Can you give it to them?
Yeah.
Here, I'll flash it.
Here, it's in here.
Wait, did we get the folder?
No, likewise, has read that.
Oh, okay. Do you need this flash drive?
Huh?
Do you need this?
No.
No. Right, sorry.
Alright, one of my USB ports are back in the post. IPR will be the 20 cards on the bottom.
Okay.
Can you say the order one more time? I was getting some habits.
The critique,
Yep.
IPR, and politics.
That's on double teal.
Right?
First on the critique, consider the role of the ballot in all political action. This means that critique alternative goes away. It's not a reason to reject. There is no offense on this law other than the climate affected minority. This is not a reason to vote for the act. They are still the institutional racist policy. We hurt them more, even though climate affects a minority. It does not discriminate, which means that warning in terms of Ghana, where they are now onto the WTO and pollution had no impact. It's short to no free pollution level. Short levy expected to be a matter of the day. It's not the type of external put them all models extra possible death polluters always prevent some level of ambiguity and pollution of vary from day to day. It's not very clear. Other people will still be killed on a given day by low PM and having experience in the path that go on to the IPR. Anti-infectious disease doesn't cause extinction period. Love it. The early disease does not cause extinction because population density decreases in transmission and many individuals more resilient. It's not mainly possible that extinction were caused by passive diseases or short-term AMSG 98 infectious disease or short-term natural protein. About the bad periods of high loss of disease on primary cause of extinction and possible that all of the passage which kills off its whole species of virus never actually killed off a species of newer times. 97 we have the documented that virus is white and species folks to they're now though they become more glamorous mythical people compared with the past to go to disease. Now there is no mutation, it's gonna be too fast or too slow, independent of 3, lethal to kill host of the go too quickly, they don't pass on the so slowly we can potentially isolate infection turn any mutated dirty, germ will certainly be too deadly. Now you can go on to politics first, that overturns case, that the fall means the plan will be delayed or undefined, only means the plan pass it also turns to innovation, rivalry, 3, economists are at the help of the great nation that working towards the US leadership, and look at the YouTube rights and definitely if we have the reductive argument, also the economy's gonna trade, the turn advantage, if we don't have a strong economy, there's nothing that's gonna happen to be trade turns disease, because we need a strong economy, and to be able to solve for the vaccine, that cure for the disease right now, you have to prefer a time for your internally, because our impacts are gonna happen, right? Now their impacts have been empirically denied, because this has been a contentious since 98, debt ceiling is gonna pass right now, the proposal came into Obama's push Obama refused to negotiate, because the Republican will try to indefinitely stall the bill. Now here's a quote from their unique success. I think it's gonna be a 50-50 on government shutdown. Obviously it's not conclusive. Obama's being tough right now. Allen and 912, there's going to be one. Looking at comes to the regular Republican bad flexing overspending. Now top priority, no thumpers. Used to call Article 910, the last Congress to get accomplished. Any modern history apart from the debt ceiling. Congress to pay schedules to do an event. The Tea Party is issued to support do debt ceiling. They're all forced to urgent and going to back after. Now Obama has to leverage right now. Couture, 999. Republicans are taming expectation ahead of the debt limit showdown. The House will prevent the default obligation to the middle language is going to be vague. Republicans will have a hard time expressing concession when Obama tells them refuse. Public will not compromise. Coming right now, their link term, I'll answer their link term right now, is not going to be bipartisan. Because any engagement with the Cuban embargo is tied with the rest of the embargo. Also, the Cuban embargo lobby will eventually block the plan to garner the 13 policy toward Cuba frozen. But the domestic political lobby, the Cuban lobby combines carry the political money with the state political denunciation to keep living covered better. Depends on line behind the policy. You can mark the calls there. Also, the Cuban lobby hates the appropriation bill. This is specific register 421. The Cuban lobby convention against political money. Denunciating wavering Congress money. The Cuban lobby has struck fear into the foreign policy bureaucracy. Republican bloc passed a 410 billion omnibus appropriation bill. Even small action alienates the House of user and risk over 13. The fact of the matter is any gesture toward Cuban watching behind the condition for the cycle group of legislature opposed to any kind of Republican in the island Congress would vote could never be laughing because even have one case for the regime. We don't do this because it wasn't lifted and the bloc can make further consideration. This means any action toward Cuba, there's only a risk the title with the Republican could kill that. So now the risk of the lobby linter does not make any sense from 2004, which means that the business lobby should have already been true. It's not logical that the business lobby will suddenly kill that sling because we do not have something and also get recalled their link evidence it's the other way around. Definitely key to business lobby. WP 918, President Obama wants to seek a list of business community. Obama will execute the word on not fighting expanding and doubling the harm of business culture, but some extreme members of the Republican will continue to threaten the full faith measure, which would even prove unique to that even when the business lobbies are lobbying Congress for passing the debt ceiling, it's not going to pass. That's why Obama's pushing Obama political unique that way. Also, lobbies have a large time frame because they take time to be able to polarize and be able to lobby Congress to do anything. Now, go back to Ag here. Sorry about this. No tech leadership decline right now. The NAP07 is just 5% of the world population. User including nearly 1/3 of scientific engineering research account for 40%. R&D spending 35%. Science engineering article 40%. Science engineering research institutional managing company global economic innovation goal this again. Now, Obama's not negotiating right now. New Republican 827, the White House will negotiate over the raising the negotiator peace president will opt to the whole construction of the GOP lifeline leadership notes it's suicidal definitely forcing government shutdown would be a politically disaster rating reform or demanding the leadership hold the line it would be coming. One of how long is in these multiple magnitude show Italian debate has and yes the negotiation because the GOP leadership political 822 topics continue to negotiate officially issue of also all our unions and claims to make that argument.
7 minutes.